Hello, everyone, and welcome to the November edition of our traditional webinar, Ask Julie Anything. As you know, I am Mariana Nadai, and I will be your host today. And today we're having a general AJA, which means that our co-owner and formulator here, Julianne Lee, will answer all your questions about your beloved fur friend. So don't be shy, and you know the drill, ask Julie anything. Before we start, I want to remind you of some of our housekeeping rules. Please, if you can switch your chat to everyone so we can all join in the conversations. Also, please use the Q&A box here below at the bottom of your Zoom screen to ask your questions. Your questions will be answered in order, first come, first serve, and we will do our best to get through all of them tonight. So please be gentle with us. And the most important thing of all, I also want to remind you that this session provides a judgment-free space with only the health and happiness of our animals and the planet being our core goal. So without further ado, I know you are all here to ask all the questions for Julie. So here we go, Julie. The floor is yours.
Hi there. I'm just all of a sudden I'm looking at, I think someone accidentally put a question in the chat.
Oh, guys, please, questions in the Q&A.
I might be wrong.
Oh,
No,
Marcella
it's
asked. Oh, sorry, go.
Becky did, but it's also in the Q&A. It's first up in
Okay,
the
cool.
Q&A. So
Okay.
ignore the one in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
And Marcella, you said that you sent an email about your experience. So if you can please share here in the Q&A, it will be best.
Yeah. And she sent an email?
She
So
said that she sent an email, yes. Because now it's a kind of unfair for me to read emails. Sometimes people send their questions through email, and I don't think that it's
I didn't know. Okay.
But I don't know, Julie, do you wanna to, I don't know, say some opening remarks or something?
I don't think so, actually. I think that we might actually be able to get through some of these today.
Okay, so let's
So
go.
why don't we just start right away? I mean, opening
Okay.
remarks. Hi, everybody. We were just talking about how crazy the weather was. It was like 3 degrees, and then it was 22 degrees the next day, and it's just all over the map, and just yeah, a little crazy.
Yeah.
But everything else is good. Good. So hopefully everybody else is doing well. And I would just think we should just get going.
Okay,
Oh,
so let's go. I'm starting here with a question from Becky. My 7-year-old, 25-pound golden doodle has a chalazion on her lower left eyelid. I don't know if I read correctly the chalazion. This happened after sleeping off paddle board in lake water with pollen covering the surface of the water. Only her head dipped and she caught her balance. However, the chalazion has been on her left eye since June. Her vet said she could do surgery to remove it. I have been doing warm compresses, but I must say I'm not as consistent as I should be. Is there any homeopathy remedy or anything I can do for this chalazion?
yeah, I would say the two main things that come up. Well, I would wish you could answer whether the dog was scared, but I would do arnica and aconite, so you can do our go-to. And then the other two remedies that are really good would be silica and euphrasia. So silica 30C and euphrasia 30C and aconite and arnica. And I would do that for, maybe a good 3 weeks, even twice a day for 3 weeks. The other thing that you can do is just make sure that the eye stays moist and healthy, so you can always use a colloidal silver spray, so long as it's a really, really good colloidal silver and doesn't kill bacteria. So our colloidal silver, it's silver salt, it's completely, it doesn't kill friendly bacteria. So it works in a different way. So you don't have to worry about the friendly bacteria being killed by it. So that would be, I would definitely use that topically. And you can purchase homeopathic eye drops that have euphrasia in it. And sometimes that's a really good one too. I think, well, I don't know if you're from the US or from Canada, but I think Homeocan has one, and so does in the US, I think maybe Boiron.
Yeah, she said that she's in the US.
In the US. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just working with a vet and she sent me, let me just look really, really fast. There's a really good, let's see, Lindsay. Um, sorry guys, I just want to make sure that here it is. It's called Perensis per perennis. Perennisis. And it's a homeopathic place in the US that you can order online. So you could go in and see if they have like a euphrasia eye drop.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you, Julie. So moving on, I have here Amanda asking, my 8-year-old beagle has a luxating patella with a 2-beat, same side gait. His creatine, kinase, and vitamin D levels are low and has noticeable muscle loss. His white blood cell count is also trending in the low range. Wondering if it's partially from berberine since he's been on it for a while. Our vet recommended hyaluronic acid supplement for his arthritis, and he's currently taking Boswellia turmeric ginger, and his currently, oh no, sorry, Boswellia turmeric ginger supplement. I'm hoping to help him build more muscle. Just wondering what your thoughts are on his situation. There aren't any plans for knee surgery. Thank you.
I'm just wondering if it's partially from berberine since he's been on it for a while. Yeah, you have to be, I don't know what not too sure what she means by being on berberine, but you do have to be careful with berberine. So maybe that is something you should be looking at depending on how, you don't have to be careful depending on how it's alkalized and if it's a tincture, how the tincture is made, or however you're getting it made, or however it's being made. It's really important that it's very, very, very low potency. So that's one thing, but I would put him on Jump for Joints, like 100%. I would put him on Jump for Joints because it's really good for cartilage, ligaments, collagen, muscle, the membrane of the joint, the ligaments, the tendons. Like, it's really good for everything. And it's really easy on their bodies, so you don't have to worry about that. The other thing I was thinking though is amino acids. Like, just looking at everything that is low, like his creatine, and vitamin D levels are low, noticeable muscle loss. I would be looking at things that have high or really, really a good analysis of amino acids. So Phytosynergy has an incredible amino acid profile. So I would be thinking about doing something like that. He's only 8 years old, making sure that his protein is super easy to digest. So easy to digest protein so that he can build some muscle. And the other thing that is good for building muscle is swimming. If they have anything joint related to so that their muscle mass doesn't weaken, is getting them in a pool. And, maybe the movement like this might irritate his patella, but I would try. I would definitely try. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was osteopathy. So I've seen chiropractics and osteopathy really work wonders with luxating patellas. And the remedy called phosphoric acid and phosphorus are two other homeopathic remedies that seem to, for some reason, have an affinity with the patella. So we use that at the clinic a lot. So that's what I would be doing. And I don't know if he's got low level vitamin D, whether your vet has put him on vitamin D or not. But yeah, amino acids, really easy to digest, clean proteins. So don't make sure he's not too low in his protein levels. Jump for joints is a really good one. And yeah, and try some swimming and osteopathy.
Amazing. Thank you, Julie. I have an anonymous question here. Hi, Julie. My cat has been having a bad IBD flare up. She was doing well on a high quality wet food as she will not eat raw until we added fiber and a digestive enzyme, healthy gut, to her diet. Maybe it was too many new things at once, but her body seemed to reject it and she was going constant diarrhea. We have been doing sub-Q fluids for a week and her poo is back to normal. Our internal medicine specialist is recommending a fecal matter transplant as her dysbiosis index shows she has very bad bacteria in her stomach and very little healthy bacteria. What would you recommend I use to help her? I want her to be okay and really want to avoid steroids. Is there ever a situation where you think steroids should be used? She is my baby and I want to use natural products to help her.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. She was doing well on a high quality wet food as she will not eat raw until we added fiber and digestive enzymes to her diet. So until she added that, I guess, to the wet food. And then
Yeah,
maybe
that's
to
how I read it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's really interesting. I don't think it was probably fiber, but you know what I'm hearing a little bit. I wish can she maybe put this anonymous person. Is there any way you can put something in the chat about um was she given antibiotics or was she just given sub-Q fluids? We've been doing sub-Q fluids for a week and her poo is back to normal. Her internal medicine specialist, right? Yeah. So, I mean, the fecal matter transplant is great. Um, I would very bad bacteria in her. So she's got a lot. Okay. So first thing that I'm thinking, if she's got really bad bacteria, you said in her stomach, I'm thinking that maybe you're meaning her gut, like her intestines. But it's funny that
Oh, she's saying here pork and turkey tail. Oh no. I was going to say that if you want to keep anonymous, you can send a message to host and panelists. That just me and Julie will be able to read all the comments. So
yeah,
all
because I guess what I'm saying is that cats can get also can get SIBO, right? Which can really also look like IBD. And it's an overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestine. Sometimes it's more referred to near the closer to the stomach. But the two things that I can think of right now is if it's an overgrowth of unhealthy bacteria, then I would be making sure that I was using a probiotic that really addresses things like pathogenic bacteria. So I would be looking at our Felix Flora with her. And also, I can't tell you, I mean, it would be it would be impossible for me to do, but when you said it's your baby, I would reach out to Andrea Ring, and when we get off this call, I'll text Andrea and let her know that someone from tonight might reach out to her. There are so many remedies that that the amount I can tell you, we've taken cats off of prednisone, we've taken them off of, immune suppressive drugs for IBD, and we've had the most incredible, phenomenal success with IBD with homeopathic remedies. Like I can't even tell you. So that is something that I would, try the Phytos Flora or Felix Flora, because it's cat specific. So the same way he's recommending a fecal matter transplant, that probiotic is made from a healthy feline fecal. So it's a species specific probiotic just for cats, and is very, very efficient in working with really, really pathogenic bacteria. So keeping it at bay. So that would be something that I would do, definitely. And I don't know if you've ever used Gut Soothe, feline Gut Soothe with her, but that's helped lots and lots of IBD cats. But I would definitely, so from a perspective of stuff that we have, you can always use Go-To. I mean, it's great for inflammation, it's great for pain. And I would definitely our phyto, like, if she's really sensitive though, you have to be careful, but phytosynergy, there's actually been studies on phytoplankton and IBD in people. So we use that a lot. Gut Soothe and Felix Flora we use a lot. So with IBD animals. But I'm just wondering if she's ever been tested for SIBO, and it's a pretty easy test. So that would be something that I would be looking potentially at as well as IBD. But I would definitely reach out to Andrea, because there are so many very specific remedies, and it would be a remedy that matches your cat's all your cat's symptoms. So it's not just an IBD remedy. It would be like a constitutional remedy that addresses IBD.
Perfect. Thanks, Julie. Hope is asking, oh, I thought I was reading, sorry.
That's right, Hope.
Yes,
Has
Hope. Kazu has been on the relief protocol for 3 months. Prior to that, he was on the leaky gut protocol since June, and prior to that, he was on the leaky gut protocol since April. He's currently leaking in between his toes and also on his inner flanks. If he can get to them, he will chew on them. I have him wearing a cone to prevent that. He's also been on the new positive immunity since September, so we just finished a bottle and started a new one. Wondering your thoughts or suggestions, like how long should I keep trying with the relief protocol? I do the love bugs mask on other similar topicals, including a pulse soak, in providing iodine after walks. He is raw fed, no carbs. I use cotton sheets. I have watched all your videos and read all the blogs relating to skin, yeast, gut.
So again, is that I really wish we could have like a chat where there she can sit and give me an answer, but I am gonna ask. Hope is he any how bad was he prior to April? Like was he the same? Is he better? Is he worse? Is he 50% better, 10% better? What's happened since then? Can can you maybe put that in the chat possibly? Oh, here we go. His ears flared up really bad in April. Okay. Leaky gut protocol. He was on the leaky gut. So during the leaky gut protocol, his ears flared. So I guess I'm wondering what symptoms did he have when you started it resolved eventually after starting ESTP. Okay. Prior to that, was he what was his skin like, or what was he doing that you started researching and reaching out and trying to find solutions for his skin? What was going on with his skin? Hmm. Oh, major overgrowth of yeast in his ear. Not on his skin. His skin was fine, and was his toes fine? So his toe, okay, so this all started with his skin. I mean, with his ears. Toes were fine. And his flanks were fine. The inside of his flanks were fine. And are his ears better now? Flanks were fine. And his ears are better. Okay. Okay. And his ears got better when you started the Yeasty Beast. Is that what she said? I think that's what she said, right? Yeah. Ears major. Okay. Okay. Ears flat up really bad. It resolved eventually after starting Yeasty Beast. Okay. So that's and the fact that he's chewing his feet and licking the inside of his flanks, that to me is saying that there's still yeast going on. Toe things can be very yeast related. And so can the inside. Anywhere where there's not, think about it, anywhere where there's not a lot of oxygen. But I find after about 2 weeks in the ear flares up again. So it stops for a bit. And then do you stop the yeasty beast after 2 weeks? This is really, or is he still on the yeasty beast when his ears reflare? There we go. Oh, that's when I discovered the relief protocol. Has he, okay. So has he ever been on the yeast? So since 3 months, his ear has been fine. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now the reason I'm asking that is because when you look at the healing process, sometimes we have to look at like the most life-threatening and things that are like a deeper disease. And the ears can definitely be a deeper disease than the his toes and on the inside of his flanks. So I'm just wondering if the direction is going in the right way. So if his ears are staying better, that can be a lot more of a problem than the toes and the flanks. So have you changed his diet at all? No. Okay. So he's been on the same diet since April. Just added more fiber. Okay. But he's been on the same protein since April? And if yes, have you thought about the potential? Yes, we rotate. Okay. So the first thing that I would ask you is when you rotate, do you rotate every couple of weeks? Do you rotate every day? Do you like what is your rotation like? Because when I see things coming and going like that, sometimes I think about that there could potentially be a trigger. So something triggering in the inflammatory response or a heated response, like a protein, often like a protein. So have you thought about that? Do you have a journal where you write down his ears, or if he's from a 1 to 10 he's a 3, or from a 1 to 10 he's a 9, 10 being the worst, and then take a look at, does that correlate with anything that he's eating? Like, does it happen 24 to 48 hours after he has rabbit? Does it 24 to 48 hours after beef? Just wondering if you've been looking at anything like that at all. Three months. Let me look. I've not noticed. Okay. So I would get a journal, and I would consider this. I would consider, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how you're rotating. So I would consider not rotating like every day or every second day or even every week. I would consider rotating maybe once a month. And in that rotation, or even every 3 months, just for a little bit, to see if you can narrow down an inflammatory response with the food that you're rotating. Because it does sound like something's poking the bear with this, like something, like he gets better and then he relapses. It just sounds like something is causing an inflammatory reaction of some kind. So I don't know whether yeah, I would probably continue doing if he's on the relief protocol right now. I don't, and his ears have been good for 3 months. I did Gene Dodd saliva test and said, and stay away from foods not recommended. Yeah, so that's good, but I still feel like sometimes an elimination diet can tell you more than you can even possibly imagine. So if you've got 5 proteins that you're you've got 5 proteins that Jean is saying, yes, I've done an elimination diet too. And no change with the elimination diet at all, or you didn't see a correlation with anything? I mean, based on everything that you're telling me, a couple things that I might do is I would probably leave him on the relief protocol. And June, July, so April, May, June, hold on. It's been on it for 3 months. Prior to that, he was on leaky gut since June. So this is all started in April. Is that, Mariana, is that what you see? That is all sort of started in April.
Sorry, I was reading some other questions.
Okay. I think prior to April. So, okay, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. We're at, okay. So I would just stay this course, and I would, as far as his toes go, I don't know about the iodine. Iodine can be very destructive to friendly bacteria. So I'm wondering if you should be just using colloidal silver on his feet instead of iodine. And when he's super itchy, I don't know. And the positive immunity, I would imagine he would probably have to be on that for at least 3 months to see a difference with something like this. And I would just stay the course I would probably stay the course for at least another 3 months and see if it works through. Because sometimes it comes from above and goes, it's like it kind of goes out, but definitely he's better, I should say he's better off. It's a better sign that it's in his toes and in his flanks than it is down inside his ears. Because that can cause so much more pain. It can cause so much more, it can cause their ears to perforate, and then they can, their hearing can be affected, and it's really, really painful. So I would just, I know, yeah, I agree about happy that his ears are, because that can just be something that is so difficult. And the only other thing that I was going to ask you is, I'm wondering about repeating the rebalancer. You'll have it because you'll have it in your leaky gut protocol. I would maybe look at doing the rebalancer on top of everything else that you're doing, but do the rebalancer 3 times a day for 2 weeks, and see if that makes a difference as well. Because you have it at home. I would do that.
Great, good. I'm glad that we
Wish there was a way that we could do like a faster conversation, but
uh
we got some details.
yeah, I'll check. Maybe I can open the microphone for the person when you have like a lot of
Yeah,
questions.
questions like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look on that. After I ask this question from Sarah, she's saying here that she has been rotating using Healthy Gut and Gut Soothe for our 13-year-old York Cross ever since completing your leaky gut protocol in 2020 something. I don't know because it's missing the final number. To help recover from a bout of pancreatitis in 2018. His GI system cycles through good days and bad days each month. Good days meaning eating well and healthy BMs. Bad meaning no appetite until dinner, quick stomach, lethargy, and strained BMs. Really bad days, looking sickly, no food all day, night, avoiding water, lethargy. Sometimes throwing up bile and having what seems to be an acid reflux hack. While we continue to work through underlying causes for his GI issues, we are wondering if you can recommend a quality, low-fat, low-protein kibble and wet food that is appropriate for a sensitive stomach.
And sorry, just to add to this question, Sarah added, and this is at the very bottom of the Q&A, Mari, so I was worried that
Okay.
you wouldn't see it. That's what it's in the chat there, Julie, to add to Dexter's history.
Oh, okay.
He's also on liver tonic currently.
Okay.
Yeah, the very bottom is saying to add to Dexter's history, Dexter has elevated liver enzymes, August 2022, ALP 317, ALT 151, September 2023, ALP 459, ALT 144, GGT 8 UL. Oh my God. Oh, I lost it. I don't know.
July 6th, 24 ALP was 923, ALT 256. And then October 1st, ALP is 688, ALT is 363, and then GGT is 11. Intermittently every month or so, he gets a red, round, dime, or nickel-sized skin irritation that turns scabby, some of which permanently leave brown marks on his skin. He licks them. They seem itchy. Found and works best to relieve them. Currently is in unwell cycle surgery. Hold on. What the heck? Why isn't this doing this? Hang on. Oh, why can't I get the chat down? Hey,
Oh,
Emily, can you read it where it says currently in an unwell cycle? I can't.
currently in an unwell cycle, surgery for CCL, October 1st, 2024. Too many retreats trying to get his meds down. Fecal swab yesterday, but it was dry and not a good sample. They found a few Clostridium, so prescribed metronidazole twice daily for 7 days.
Ah. Okay. Well, I mean, the first thing that I think you should do is call my friend Andrea because, and then the other thing is that it's interesting both times now. I've uh a few Clostridiums. You know, there's a very, very strong link between pancreatitis and SIBO. And if your dog does better on Flagyl, but they've just prescribed it, then one of the main symptoms for SIBO is antibiotic diarrhea that is antibiotic that works well with antibiotics. I mean, you give antibiotics, the diarrhea goes away, the dog feels better. Then they go along, and then all of a sudden they get bad again. And it's very, very, SIBO is very linked to pancreatitis. So pancreatitis and SIBO kind of go hand in hand. But one of the three-legged stools with that is that if they have diarrhea and if they have a sick stomach and the the they prescribe something like Flagyl or an antibiotic and it gets better, often it can be SIBO. So I would definitely have this dog checked for SIBO because then you're at least treating small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, and you are at least treating what's really going on rather than chasing your tail constantly thinking that it's pancreas related. And it still could be, but the SIBO could be contributing to it greatly. So you again, I mean, I can't even tell you right at this minute. I would be saying for you, if you can, get our go-to and get him on go-to 3 to 4 times a day. Just put him on it and leave him on it 3 to 4 times a day for up to a month, even to try and just reduce the pain, because pancreatitis and these kind of symptoms are also very cortisol dependent, meaning like they're under chronic pain. And when they're painful, it increases the cortisol level, and then that affects the pancreas in a negative way as well. So the big thing with this is to get him pain free, and that can help a little bit. Definitely be on the liver tonic for sure. But there's remedies that are just screaming at me, which is a remedy called Iris vesicular and carcinosin and chelidonium. There's so many homeopathic remedies that I think could really, really, really help this dog a lot. So maybe you could reach out to Andrea. In the meantime, make sure that he's on liver tonic at least three, maybe even 4 times a day. Get him on the go-to. And if it is SIBO, then reach back out to us, because our best probiotic for SIBO is Soylent C. It's a really, really very, very good probiotic specifically for SIBO, but really, really targets SIBO well. So, and the acid reflux, like again, the go-to can help with acid reflux, but there's so many great remedies that can help with acid reflux, like belladonna and chamomile and like all different things. But when I read this, it really makes me feel so bad for this dog because it can be very painful. And I really feel like rather than just like putting him on a low protein or low fat kibble, I would consider reaching out to Andrea. And instead of doing a low fat, low protein kibble, you know who I would talk to is Billy Hokeman. Are you in, do you know if she's in um the US or Canada?
She's in Canada.
She's in Canada. Okay, so
Yeah.
two people you could reach out to, and Emily can probably give you um so Billy Hokeman, I would still reach out to Billy Hokeman because he does have his food. It's freeze dried, but he does have his food here. I would talk to him, and I would also talk to someone called Sarah Griffith, who is an incredible canine nutritionist. And I would talk to them too. And Emily, do you have Sarah's email? I think pretty sure we do. Um, if not, then maybe take Sarah's. Okay, awesome. So if you could give her Sarah Griffith's email, that's who I would that's who I would get a hold of for sure.
Amazing. Thank you, Julie. Amanda here. Hi, Julie. I'm wondering if you have any recommendations for a potential nervous system disorder in an 8-year-old Mastiff Ruti. She does this weird thing with her feet when she's excited, where she hits her front paws together, almost like she's trying to scratch them, and her back legs shake. She does it every day when I come home before I take her cone off. She's coned due to it and allergies, I believe, but that's a whole other thing. I have been trying to get to the bottom of all her issues for about 2 years. Chewing her feet, scratching her chin that has these weird dark dry bumps on it, scooting her bum and vulva, intermittent loose stools, intermittent incontinence, ear infections, etc. I have done one round of East Beast and slowly doing leaky gut at the moment. She's seeing a chiropractor slowly, increase its a
In case it,
pinched, okay, in case it's a pinched nerve or something causing the foot thing. She's been raw fed for 3 months, taking quercetin and potency. I have dabbled with turmeric, but I have stopped it at this time, at the moment, sorry.
so when she's Amanda, when you're saying potential nervous system disorder, has your vet does your vet think that that's what it is? And I'm only asking because I've seen some really severe skin diseases or skin disorders um that when they get excited, they can do stuff like this. It's like it's like the excitement just triggers their cortisol level, and when you come in, they're like, you know, I know one dog where when she would get excited, she was a pit bull cross, but when she would get excited, she would just start scratching the air. And that would be when she was going to go for a walk or when she was going to do something that she was excited to do, like happy to do, wasn't like excited that or scared or anything. And she would just start like scratching nothing, like making these very odd sort of movements. And it was just because she was just getting overwhelmed with itching. Um, she was probably one of the worst dogs I've ever seen with skin disease. So, like one of them, not the worst, but one
She
of the
said
worst.
that the the chiropractor thinks that the
It's
problem like this in neurological.
hmm. Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm not convinced it's neurological. I mean, it definitely could be. There's no, something that's odd, that is that odd, could could be neurological, but but you would think that it would show up at other times, like, if she was excited about other things, or because it's usually when she comes home, isn't that what she said? When excited, when she hits her floor and paws together, almost like, and then her black back legs shake. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's when she comes back home and it's removing
the
the
cone,
cone. Yeah.
because she's probably so excited to get that cone off of her head too. So again, this whole AJA, I'm feeling very homeopathic. Like, there's a lot of like a lot of these cases that I'm talking would really, really help to have a homeopath also, you know, uh, work with you. Sarah Griffith, that I think Emily put Sarah's name in it, and she also does homeopathy. She's a really good homeopath as well. So I don't know what you're doing as far as her diet goes, Amanda. What if you've tried different kinds of diets, but the scooting her bum and her vulva, I'm sure she doesn't have fleas. I'm sure you've checked her for fleas, because that's also something that I've seen in really, really bad flea allergy dermatitis. But if it's flea allergy and that's those dark, dry bumps, and you know, uh, it can, it's a lot, intermittent incontinence and ear infections. She just, right now, I would get her on the go-to, and I would do the same thing. I would give her go-to 3 times a day for a month. And I would look at her, um, how old did they say she was? 8 years old, Mastiff Rottie Cross. You could try the love bugs mask with her. So putting it on the love bug mask all over her body, so that you're reestablishing her flora on her body. I would probably do that. She's due to do yeast. She's cone due to yeast. Okay. And did she do the yeasty beast? She say she did yeasty beast? Um, I've
Yes.
done one
Yes,
round,
one round.
one
Yes.
round of yeasty beast, and slowly doing leaky gut. Well, she could be a dog that would really benefit from the relief protocol. So you could definitely try our relief protocol as well. But I hate to keep saying to, I feel like I'm telling everyone just to phone Andrea. But but we could, there's just so many remedies that could alleviate a lot of this distress in her. So I would seriously be thinking about that. I don't know if you've done a really good CBD, but maybe, and Amanda, are you in the US or in Canada?
Canada.
In Canada as well. So, a really, really clean, low THC organic CBD that can really help the nervous system. It can really help to calm down the nervous system. Is she allergic to beef at all?
She
Amanda, is
does
she allergic to
she
beef?
doesn't think so.
Oh, she doesn't. I don't think so. Okay, good. It's taken a long time to come up on my chat.
Yeah.
I
She
tried
tried
colostrum.
colostrum before, yeah.
Then I would try our positive immunity, because especially when she's getting the incontinence and the intermittent loose stools, I would definitely try positive immunity along with what you're doing right now. And try the mask for her body, put her on go to, keep her on go to three times a day for at least, I don't know if they would have done rebalance for if she's done the
The
leaky
protocol.
gut protocol. Yeah, I really feel bad for her. Having a big dog like that with they're so itchy, and then her back legs shaking and stuff. I've seen really bad skin stuff, especially ears, um, affect their nervous system, but not like a nervous system disease. It just affects their nervous system because they're just kind of out of their minds, itchy, which is really terrible. But if your chiropractor really feels like it's a pinched nerve, the other thing you could do is you could do the jump for joints at the same time as you're giving your go-to. So you could go-to and jump for joints 3 times a day. You can go and buy a remedy called Hypericum, 200C, and you could give her that twice a day. That's specifically for something like a pinched nerve. But jump for joints can also help pinched nerves. So you could do that. I mean, she's 8 years old. She's a Mastiff Rottie Cross. It's not going to hurt her. So it's a homeopathic remedy that is definitely not gonna hurt her if you're concerned about that at all, because it won't. And then I don't know, reach out, see if you can get a different diet into her. You could talk to Sarah. And if you really want to, talk to Andre Ring, that would be something that would be helpful too. But that's what I would do. Relief protocol, jump for joints, your go-to, and positive immunity. That's what I would do right now. And Hypericum 200C, which is a homeopathic remedy. You can get that from your health food store in Canada. And then just see if maybe she's allergic to something that she's eating. Do an elimination diet, or reach out to Sarah and see if Sarah could recommend a diet for her.
Diesel Mini sent us a message just for host and panelists, but she's saying that Amanda, I had the same problem, and I did Leaky Gut Protocol, East Beast Protocol, The Wolf, Gut Soothe, Healthy Gut, Liver Tonic, Love Bugs, Phytosynergy, Potency, Rebalance, and Turkey Tail Mushroom.
That's what these.
Yeah, Diesel Mini, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the Leaky Gut Protocol, Yeasty Beast, and the Wolf, is very similar to the relief protocol. It's just missing the Wolf could replace, if she's done that, if she's had the same problem, the Wolf could replace the Phytosphlora for sure. And the rest of the stuff, I mean, Amanda, it's if you could do all of those, it would probably be really helpful, but definitely also do those remedies, because the remedies can really help with their distress, how distressed that they are.
Amazing. So the next question here, it's from Sharing, but it's a very, very long question. The one that we are reading here is just part of it. So Julie, I'm sending you the question I'm messaging it so you can read, and I'm also reading it. You got it?
You messaged
I
it.
messaged you
on
like
my phone?
on your phone, yes.
Okay.
So Sharing is saying here, taking my breath because it's too long. First of all, I want to start by thanking you from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to be in the presence of such an intelligent and dedicated doctor. Thank you so much in advance for your time and help with my fur baby. I hope you are ready for a run for your for your money. As most doctors say, my dog Cameron is a medical mystery. He is a 4-year-old neutered box who was diagnosed at age 1 with canine papillomavirus, age 2 with mitral valve dysplasia, and age 2.5 with 2 mast cell tumors that were thankfully able to be removed with clear margins. Then at age 3, Camera was diagnosed with tricuspid valve dysplasia, as well as a first-degree atrioventricular block. At age 3.5, Cameron had a cutaneous hemangiosarcoma removed from his back right foot, again with minimal but thankfully clear margins. Given Cam's history, I want to paint one last picture so it helps you understand how we are right now. Last year, after the mast cell surgery, Cam developed a terrible infection. However, I'm pretty convinced that because of the antibiotics post-surgery, it's caused the gastro issues along with a skin condition that no one can seem to resolve. One dermatologist stated he has bacterial folliculitis. Another stated he has allergic dermatitis. Another said she sees yeast on the bottom of his feet and parts of his body. My husband was also diagnosed with Tinea corporis, aka ringworm, so I'm not sure if he somehow also maybe passed this along to Cameron. We just had ringworm PCR test completely last night at the vet and are waiting results. Following their advice, though, back in July and August, we did 2 different rounds of antibiotics along with medicated washes for the yeast and another skin conditions. When he started developing these dark black spots on his body, the dermatologist stated that it was some type of bacterial infection. She had us add boiled chicken to his food for whatever reason. He ended up breaking out in hives. So she put him on prednisone for like a good month. It turns out he was allergic to chicken, but we didn't realize that at the time, so they just kept upping the dose and the amount of time on the prednisone and eventually Camaril-P. In my opinion, this only made things much worse. He started to lose a tremendous amount of fur all over his body, and he started developing these very weird patches on his body, ultimately ending up in fur loss over time in those areas. 2 areas that were shaved back in the beginning of June to confirm the bacterial infection still never grew back. I have been using the colloidal silver as well as the skin health spray. Because his stomach is super sensitive, I started with 1 week of the ECB's protocol, then I switched it over to 1 week of Fido's Flora and plan on going to the leak gut protocol for 1 week, but was told we should do the gut cleanse for animal biome first. We ended up doing the microbiome fecal testing in September, and it showed that Cameron current has E. coli and is missing 12 of 18 common bacteria. So that's where the gut cleanse is coming into play for animal biome. They are claiming I should go through 1 jar of that, then attempt the leak gut protocol. I want to mention that Cameron's diet has been changed to cod, organic butternut squash, organic spinach, red peppers, and blueberries. I made this change away from dry food back in September when he really started exhibiting a tremendous amount of fur loss. Thanks to you, Julie, and Jude Morgan, and the leak gut video you released, this made up my mind to never go back to dry food ever again. Per the help of a holistic doctor, he's also on vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that are added to his food daily to make sure he's receiving adequate nutrition. We did the VDI essential vitamin panel, and it showed he's only somewhat low in magnesium. We also had a cancer panel done through VDI labs, which showed his TK1 levels are mildly elevated, but with CRP within normal intervals. So we are here right now in hopes of figuring out how to resolve Cameron's skin issues as he is still breaking out in hives bumps on the right side of his body. He is still developing random odd-shaped patches on his body and is continuing to lose fur in those spots and on his body overall, and has occasional issues where the webbing of his toes becomes yeasty. We are also hoping to find out how to resolve the excess mucus issue that occasionally arises and causes him to persistently gulp, gag, dry heave, and go into these terrible panic attacks that lead us to the ER every time.
So funny how things when we get questions and certain people on AJAs, how so Sharon, you can type in, if you can type in on the chat, or Marianne, if you want to put her on speaker thing, if you want to try to
Okay. Sharing. So I'm open the mic for you. Let me see. I think now you are allowed to talk, sharing. Can you
Can you
hear?
hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Hi.
Hi.
So, hi. So first thing I have to say, you can't call me doctor because my degree is England and with the British Homeopathic Veterinary Surgeons, that North America doesn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You can just call me Julie, which is awesome. That's what everybody did at my vet hospitals. So
I tell everyone that you are like my hero on earth. I've learned so much. I take notes on every video that I watch. It's like I could almost cry right now that I actually have the honor of being able to speak with you because
oh,
we can't seem to figure out what's going on with this poor baby. And it breaks my heart because above all, he has been the sweetest, most docile, loving little boy that you'll ever meet. Like he really is amazing. And I want to get him to a good place because and I'm so sorry that everything was so long, but there's just such an
okay.
extensive health history with him that it's like I don't know what plays into what's going on with him right now, but I feel
Yeah.
like you are our savior to help give us some kind of direction with him.
So let me just get this straight. So you first thing that you did was the fecal transplant and then the animal biome.
We
Uh,
haven't done a fecal transplant as of yet. No one has said that they saw the need for that yet, but they did see through the animal biome testing that he has E. coli. So that's where they did put him on this thing called the gut cleanse, and I guess it has organic pumpkin powder and then Pre4 Pro in it. And they said to kind of finish that out, and then if we wanted to go ahead with the leaky gut protocol to do that, but they weren't sure if we should do that at the same time.
so you've done that one then? You've done the other one?
We just started that. I actually just
Oh,
started on Monday.
on Monday. Okay. And how long is it for?
I want to say about a month. And that's where I'm a little nervous to go that amount of time and not start the leaky gut protocol. So I didn't know if, if there was a reason that you could see why I couldn't do both at the same time.
I don't, but then I don't know that product very well. Like
Okay.
I don't know what their thoughts are or their concerns are for that. But saying that, um, I would, the number one thing with this is that you have, because he's got so many issues, you really do need to figure out what's doing what,
Right.
right? So, and food wise, he's on, what did you say he's on?
So he's on cod, and then we're doing butternut squash. I'm trying to avoid carbs because I know that there is a yeast issue with him.
Yeah.
So we have blueberries, spinach, green beans, and then I was working with a holistic doctor, and he has him on different vitamins, minerals, enzymes to
He's
add
on
in.
bell peppers though. Did I read bell peppers? It was so long.
Just red peppers.
Red peppers, yeah. I would take those out.
Okay, I did try that once, and that's where I wasn't sure because I did like I was reading somewhere that those could be good for his heart. So I was like, all right, let's start adding in something in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Oh, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 days after I added that to the most recent batch of food that I made. That's where I noticed that he started to get the hives again. But he also has been on a rabbit-based food, and there's so much more that goes into this that I didn't even put into the chat because I'm like, they'll probably throw me
Yeah.
out of here and never let me back in. But he had red peppers before that were added to this like rabbit stew that we were buying from a place called Rain Nutrition. So I didn't think they'd be an issue, but I don't know if it's a different type of red pepper that was maybe triggering something. But I tried that once and then took it out when we haven't gone back, but he still has the bumps on his side.
Yeah. So with his the first thing that I would be thinking with this, like homeopathically, it again, I'm this case is just screaming homeopathy, like remedies called histaminum, because to me it sounds like he's got a really high histamine
Yes.
reaction. And because he's a boxer, of course he does. And that's why I said don't do peppers, because peppers will elevate histamine.
Okay. Thank you.
Like
That's good to know.
all peppers. So you want to stay away from that group of vegetables that can increase the histamine response. Um, what won't hurt him to be on, along with what Holly's company is recommending, is liver tonic.
Okay. And
And
he is actually, he's been on that. I want to say I started that about 3 weeks ago. Um, when I started the Yeasty Beast protocol, and I've kind of just had him on that, like even when the Yeasty Beast, when I stopped that after the first week and then went to the Phytosphlora, I left him on the liver tonic. I don't, but I'm ready. Like the bottle will probably end, I'd say, by Friday of this week. So I don't know if I should keep going with that.
yeah, I would be giving it to him 3 times a day,
Okay.
on going through everything. Like, because uh even if you're trying to do a different product or anything, the liver still needs to cleanse the pathogenic bacteria, however the body's going to adjust to it. So I would for sure keep him on that. But so just so that so you've got him on all of our stuff, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna take him off when you put him on the other one.
Well, so right now, like he still is using the liver tonic. And right now he's also on the gut cleanse. So like right now, like that's all like I stopped the Phytosphlora.
Okay. Okay. But so he is on the gut cleanse now. He
Yeah,
started.
he
Okay.
just started that on Monday.
Prior to that, was there any change in him at all?
No.
No. And you were
Minus
on,
the red pepper, there was no change.
okay. No, I mean, like,
Oh,
did his skin change? Did anything change when you put him on the relief protocol, but you're only doing it 1 week at a time?
yeah, I didn't really see too much. I feel like he hasn't gotten any worse, which is good. Like he had an issue where we were at the vet 2 weeks ago and he had a yeast infection in his right ear. And well, after watching one of your videos, I know that you recommended the Zymox for the ears, but without the hydrocortisone. So he was on that. And when we went back to the vet yesterday and they rechecked his ears, they said everything actually looked fine and that the yeast was gone there. But I feel like skin wise, like he's still, I'll have to, if there's a way that I could send you the pictures of his patches, any dermatologist that we've seen, any vet that we've seen, holistic doctor, they have no idea what this is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. Why don't we do this? Mariana, can you have her send everything that she just sent now? Because this is going to take way longer than anticipated. Um, uh, have her email that, and then along with pictures, because the pictures would really help me. Definitely really help me. So, I mean, the one thing that this is all screaming for me is histamine.
Mhm.
Um, but our wolf probiotic is very, very, it's like very, uh, it's just really, really speaking to me, because this dog sounds like he has been born with really, really bad dysbiosis as a baby.
Yeah, and
And
we
I,
actually I mean, from a few weeks of having him, I'd say maybe when he was about 10 or 11 weeks old, he was having an
Yeah.
issue where he was vomiting and diarrhea of blood. So he was in the emergency room from weeks old. And I feel like that's just been a start, like an indicator of what his health has been
Well,
like for the last
he's
4
just
years.
on a vicious circle is really what's going on because every time you kind of maybe get over something, he's had
Mhm.
these like massive amounts of antibiotics.
Hmm.
And that's going to cause a big havoc about with everything else. But this whole this gulping thing, like that's like it sounds like a really bad acid reflux.
Yeah.
And the reason that I want you to email me is that my dog has I have a rescue dog that had surgery at 8 weeks of age, and it by swallowing this massive bone and having it stuck in his esophagus, and he has uh thickening of his esophagus where they had to do surgery.
Oh,
So
wow.
so he gets really bad, like seriously bad reflux.
Oh,
And I have a homeopathic remedy that I've mixed up for him
mhm.
that is like a godsend. Like
Oh
it's
my God.
yeah, like within like you have to do it every 10 minutes.
Hmm.
And usually within 40 half an hour to 40 minutes, it calms him right down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's huge because that's what's led us to the ER more than anything else. And he starts where like you could hear the mucus and the phlegm. It almost sounds like when a small child, they have it like built up in the back of their throat and they just don't know how to clear it. That's what
Yeah.
happens. And then the gulping, the swallowing, he starts licking carpets. He tries eating hairballs off the floor. I mean, and he's not a ravenous dog by any means, but he's outside
Oh,
like ferociously tearing grass out of the ground. And it's so out of character for him. But it's like he
yeah.
just goes into this panic. And the only way to get
Yeah.
him to stop is
Yeah, and then there's also a really good herb that I give him called Meadow Sweet. But I would just email us
okay.
and send a picture and email everything that we just read and let me take a look at it so that I can be more specific and like make comments within the email.
Julie, can I just tell you, like, I've truly, for the last month and a half since I found out about you, I have been praying to God to, like, find a way to be able to speak with you in person. And I really feel like my prayers have just been answered. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're
And
welcome.
who do I
Sherry,
send the email to? Who do I direct that to?
I'm sending an email to you tomorrow morning.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
You
Thank
got
you
her
guys
email?
so
You got
much.
her email, Marianne?
Uh, I I mean, you can send me here an email, your email direct to me, or probably you use your email for your registration, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I can get it from there.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Thank you both so much.
You're welcome. Hang in there.
Nice to meet you, Julie.
Too.
Let me, okay. Um, okay. So we're good now. Thank you, Sharon, for your participation here. Um, now a shorter question, I would say, from Susan. My 9-year-old Whippet had Lyme. We took Doxy for 2 weeks. Please give me some alternatives for Lyme and kidney disease.
Yeah. Um, so I am going to give you uh someone that I just found out about. Hold on. See if I can find her number. Hold on. Did she? Sorry. I mean, this because everyone can write this down then. Just want to see. And so there's an herbal company, and it's called Sustenance Herbs in Maine, US, the US. Their phone number is 207-451-7093. Now, I have a couple people here in Canada that are using it with their dog for Lyme, and the dog is doing really well. Both dogs are doing really well. I can't really speak to it because I've never used it, but I did talk to this woman a couple days ago about my horse, and she's been doing it with equine and dogs and people for 14 years. So she's pretty uh she sounds like she really knows her stuff, but you could take a look at it. Sustenance Herbs in Kittery, Maine, US, and I think that's pretty much her whole the majority of her business is for Lyme disease. So I would reach out to her. As far as kidney disease goes, well, you know, especially for whippets, quality protein, like crazy quality protein, meaning low cortisol in the protein. So grass-fed, organic, really, really ethically treated animals. Um, Remedies like phosphorus is homeopathic remedies called phosphorus. Our liver tonic is amazing for kidneys. So it's kidneys and liver. But I had all my kidney cats. I used to rescue whippets and Italian greyhounds, so I'm really familiar with them. And they all took liver tonic on a regular basis. I didn't even rotate it with them. So they stayed on it all the time. And for a homeopathic remedy for Lyme that's really good is called Ledum, Ledum. And you can get 200C and you can give it once to two, 1 to 2 times a day for a week. That's also excellent for it. And if he was on Doxy or she was on Doxy, you're going to want to really, really try and reestablish the good bacteria, because Doxy's a bomb when it comes to it's the best. It is the antibiotic of choice for Lyme, though. So, get your pups bacteria back in order in the gut. This woman has a prophylactic herb. So that's what I was talking to her about. Like, is there an herb that she recommends to try and prevent Lyme from, can't always stop ticks from biting. So she does. So that's a good thing. And yeah, I mean, we just did a kidney disease. What is it on, Mariana? It's a really, really precise remember our kidney course that we did, or a kidney?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Is it on YouTube?
It is, yes. It was an
Is it?
HIV, yes.
Yeah, so it'll be on YouTube. You can watch it. There's a lot on there that you could learn, but don't freak out. I've been dealing with a lot of Lyme um cases in my area and personally on my own farm. So there's lots you can do. So just my advice to you right now is to get her gut back in balance. Give this person a call, research her, find out a little bit more about her. Go and get Ledum, homeopathic Ledum. And the other thing that would be very good, I don't know what your dog's symptoms was, if it was like neurological or was it like arthritic or whatever, is putting her on Jump for Joints. So going through an entire bottle of Jump for Joints with her, that will support that'll really support her joints right now, decrease the inflammation in her joints and the periosteum of her bone. And then positive immunity, it would be a really good one as well to remove well, for many reasons, but remove the chronic inflammatory response, and also to remove the endotoxins and things like that would be in her gut.
Amazing. Thank you, Julie. And yes, the kidney presentation is on YouTube, as you mentioned.
Okay, great.
So now I'm reading here, Erin question. About 2 years ago, my 6-year-old Shih Tzu back paw blew up. They all are slightly red, but only one is very swollen. We have tried everything: cyto point shots, steroids, changing in her diet, ointments, supplements, bath salts, Apoquel. Nothing seems to work. Apoquel was the most effective, but I'm not comfortable keeping her on it for long term. We just finished your East Beast our East Beast protocol, and our, I mean, East Beast, I don't know if it's the protocol, but probably is, right?
Yeah.
And we are currently doing your leak gut protocol. We have incorporated your phytosynergy, mushrooms, positive immunity, and omega. We have tried your sprays like colloidal silver, always and oopsies, and East Beast. It smells like her dermatologist has um, giving up on us because we don't want to continue Apocal, and any advice will help.
Hmm. So is this just her foot? Or is it others back paw blew up? They're all slightly red, but only one is very swollen. Okay, incorporated. So it doesn't sound like it's anywhere else on her body but her feet.
She
Is that
said
right?
the paw pad.
Paw pad. Yeah. Okay. And how long ago? Blew up about 2 years ago. I know this would be crazy, and they've probably asked you this a million times. Is there anything new? Did you move new carpets that she still could potentially be touching? Is there anything that could potentially she be allergic to, like a chemical sensitivity topical, like a that she's touching? Is there anything that could have you tried putting cotton boots on her, cotton socks on her so that she's not touching the ground? Have you done anything like that? That's just first thing that I'm just thinking about. Um, Nothing new. Yes, we tried socks that made them worse. Okay. All right, that's good to know. When you did the leaky gut protocol, did you notice any change when you were on the rebalancer? So there
Just
just
started the rebalance last week.
last week.
No change, but hasn't gotten worse.
Okay. So I would keep her on the rebalancer for like twice a day for 3 weeks. And I would also get so it's the pads. So Ruta, Symphytum. Okay. Get our go-to, and then go. Are you Canada or the US?
US, and she tried your go-to.
And when you tried go-to, how long did you try it for? On and off when I noticed it was very bad. And when you noticed it was very bad and you used it, did it alleviate, Nui? Did it alleviate anything? a little bit, but never completely gone. Okay, just leave her on it. Put her on it and leave her on it 3 times a day with the rebalancer. And then go to your health food store or somewhere that you can buy homeopathic remedies. You can also buy them on a thing called Homeopathy Overnight, which is US. She doesn't love it. She puts up a fight. Is she on anything like can she have goat milk? She allowed to drink goat milk or kefir or yogurt or anything like that?
They tried cat-free.
Here, and is she okay on that? Okay. So Billy Hokeman has a really good raw goat milk. I would go get that raw goat milk and give her homeopathic. So give the rebalancer and the go-to in 2 tablespoons of goat milk. Just put it right in the goat milk, mix it, and let her drink the goat milk. Don't put it right in her mouth and stress her out. Just let her drink it from either yogurt or kefir or like I said, Billy Hokeman. You can get raw goat milk, that's even better. So if you could put that in some raw goat milk would be helpful. Okay, we have the goat milk from Billy, but haven't tried it yet. Cool. Okay, so try that and put it in that or put it right in her food. Just put it directly in her food. Put it on the top and give her a little bit of food and let her eat it and then just wait maybe 10 minutes before you give her the rest of the food. But it's always nice how long
How
for how
long?
long a day.
And
So rebalancer, I would give it to her twice a day. And the go-to, I would give it to her 3 times a day, and I would do them both for 3 weeks. And then go and get a remedy called pepper sulf. Emily, can you type it in? Pepper sulf and apis. I don't know if Emily's there. Let me see if I can type it in here.
she typed it already.
Oh, she did.
Pepper
Okay.
sulf.
Pepper
Mhm.
sulf 30C and apis 30C. And you can just, the little pellets, and you can just mix the little pellets in some water, and you can just add that to the goat milk as well. Now, that would be something that could potentially really help that one back, well, help her pause. But oh my God, my spelling. So that's what I would try, and then you can go from there. So I don't know, when you say that you've just tried Billy's, I'm just wondering, did you start some of Billy's food? So I just am looking at what food. Yes, awesome. Perfect. Okay, so you're on a good course with food now. You're going to start the goat milk and get those remedies into her and leave everything else the same, like do everything else like you're doing it. It's fine. It's great. And yeah, that's what I would do. The only thing that okay, you're on everything pretty much. So that's fine. I would just really ramp up her homeopathy with what we have. The remedies for how long and just once a day? No. 3 times the our go-to, give it to her 3 times a day for 3 weeks. And they can go together. The rebalancer twice. Oh, sorry. Heiper. Oh, yeah. So the Heiper sulf and the apis twice a day. So you can just think the Heiper sulf and the apis can go with a rebalancer, and then the go-to, she's going to get one extra a day. So rebalancer, Heiper sulf, and apis twice a day for 3 weeks. But yeah, just twice a day. And then let customer service know after about a week if you see any difference.
Great. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. I was not sure. Uh, I'm now reading, which I think it will be the last question because of the time here now. And the question is from Stacy, but the the text that you are reading here, it's just part of it, and I'm sending the other part here in the chat for you, Julie, not in your phone because I think it's a small portion of it. It's just like for contest. So I'm just texting you.
You're going to put it in the
Here
chat.
it's in the chat, so I'm reading all, but just one part of the question is in the chat because it's kind of the contest from what she wrote here. I would like to know your thoughts about IBD in cats and the cause. Also, your thoughts on the steroid uh, budesonide and what you would recommend as an alternative to this prescription. Thank you. And her compliment is she completed the question with the question is pertaining to my cat, Kitty Bear. He has had his first treatment of fecal transplant of 4 weeks ago. He responded well to the first treatment and began eating 24 hours after the treatment. Our integrative suggested the budesonide, sorry, but I don't want to give that to him, which is why I'm asking about an alternative. KB was very sick prior to the treatment. He started to lose weight in January, February 2024 as a result of a raw rabbit food that had a high content of greens. He went down to 7.9 pounds from 11.5 over the course of 8 months. We had him on gut feline prior to the transplant. Yet I didn't see any major visible changes. Recently, he wasn't eating well. He was hungry, but nothing was appealing to him. We changed him to gently cooked rabbit and turkey. Goodness gracious and evermore.
Well, it's a my feeling on it is, or my thoughts on it is, it's a very real issue with cats. Um, Again, I think we talked about, did we talk about IBD in cats or a dog at the very beginning? Was it a dog or a cat?
I think
I'm
it was
not
a dog.
dog. So IBD is something that again, homeopathy can be absolutely brilliant, like beyond brilliant for. And the problem with steroids, I mean, sometimes you have to use steroids, right? Like there's sometimes steroids are life-saving. The problem with using steroids with cats is that cats don't do as well on steroids as dogs can long term. If you do wind up having to do steroids, then I would highly suggest having, a really high, like getting liver tonic and putting your cat on that at least 4 times a day. And also a homeopathic remedy. Emily can maybe put it in the chat too. A homeopathic remedy called Nux vomica 30C and phosphorus 30C. And that really, really helps to derail some of the liver issues and steroid induced diabetes and things like that that cats can get. So that would be something that I would do if down the road you do have to do it. But again, you can do so much for IBD with cats. It is did we do an IBD thing?
We did.
Yeah, didn't we? When was that?
Oh no, IBD. No, we didn't. We don't have an AJA. We are planning to do one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have a blog, Emily said. I was going to say that we have maybe a
Okay.
ebook, but
So
we
you can
definitely have a
maybe
blog.
Okay, so Stacey, you can go and read the blog as well. But the other thing I was going to ask is, does the fecal transplant, can you only do that so often, or can you do it on a regular basis? And even doing the fecal transplant, I would continue having him on gut soothe, feline gut soothe, and Felix Flora, and phytosynergy for sure. You can also, you can also have them on positive immunity, all the things like I was talking about before, where you want to decrease inflammation. So positive immunity decreases inflammation. Phytosynergy helps with the amino acids, and uh, also the antioxidant level. Gut soothe is incredibly soothing. Felix flora has a species specific um, probiotic in it. So all of those things, turkey tail mushrooms are really, really good for IBD, for immune modulation. The thing about the Felix flora is that feline species probiotic has an immune modulation effect. So it really and what immune modulation means is if the immune system goes too high, it helps to bring it down. If it goes too low, it starts to bring it up. So it helps the body modulate the immune system. There's homeopathic remedies, arsenicum and iris and carcinosin and pulsatilla and ignatia. And there's a million different incredibly amazing homeopathic remedies for IBD. So I would, if Emily can just throw it back in the chat, please, Emily, if you could either reach out to Andrea Ring, or you could reach out to Sarah, because Sarah can get those remedies for you as well. And just pain relief. So putting your kitty on the go-to as well, and mixing it right in their food. You don't have to put it in their mouth for cats. Just putting her on kind of routine go-to twice a day, and just leaving her on go-to for just leaving her on it for even a month, just to calm her whole system down. So anti-inflammatories, which is positive immunity, phytosynergy, gut soothe, Felix flora, go to liver tonic. Those would be the things that I would be definitely looking into. And what did you say you're feeding her now? What, I'm just trying to read this. Is there he was hungry, but nothing was appealing to him.
Changed him to gently cooked rabbit and turkey.
So phosphorus really helps with that too. Like there are remedies that you can be giving him for nausea that's not an anti-nausea. It helps with nausea because it's going to the core issue of what's going on that's causing the nausea. So if it's inflammation in his gut, if it's pain, if it's a million different things. So I would for sure. Did they put Andrea's thing back in, or Sarah's thing back in? Do you know if Emily did that? Okay, awesome.
Andrea's thing, yes, sorry.
Andrea's in
Andrea's is here, yes, the website.
And Sarah's too,
Sarah's.
right? Okay.
Let me recheck.
Andrea and Sarah. Okay.
But just one question that Stacy asked here, how is because I think maybe can be helpful for everyone, that the best way to give homeopathy to a cat, like if it's okay to dissolve in the raw goat milk or on the food.
100%. Cats in food. Don't even think about it, because if you dissolve a pellet or you dissolve a liquid homeopathy in water, and then you mix it together, and you can just take like a very small amount, like 0.3 cc's or 0.5 cc's, a really small amount. Mix it in goat milk, mix it in their favorite food. I did a practicum with the British homeopathic veterinary surgeons in India, and I was always concerned that, homeopathy, oh my gosh, can't give it with this, can't give it with that. They give it with everything. People drink coffee and take it over there and it works. They eat up hot peppers and take it and it works. Like it's gonna work. I treated feral cats for years and years and years in Vancouver. And I've mixed all of their food, like, you'd see a big, huge abscess in their eyes and the trap and release cats. And we always put the remedies in their food, and it cleared up the abscesses. It worked really well, just even in their food. So don't worry about that. And you're asking me what I believe the cause of IBD is. I think the cause of IBD is the same cause as most of our chronic diseases in ourselves and our pets. And that is really, really poor quality food. So dry food is in my opinion probably one of the biggest culprits with cats for IBD. Over vaccinations, vaccinating them too young, vaccinating them too often. Stress and boredom is a big one for cats. I think that, especially indoor cats, they they don't ask a lot, but cats are brilliant. Like, they're just so smart, and they really need to be playing, or they need to have some kind of mental stimulation. So I would be, looking at definitely doing that. And so yeah, stress and inflammation and poor quality food and not enough antioxidants. And cats are hunters. That's what there's cats are 100% carnivore, and they should be eating blood at the temperature of 90 degrees, like right from a mouse. So the way they absorb their hydration, I don't even want to say water, but the way cats get hydration is through blood of their prey. And when we dehydrate them so much by not feeding them food that they can rehydrate, is a real detriment to our feline friends. So, that's a big contributing factor, I believe. There's a lot of different things, but those are the big ones that I think contribute most to IBD.
Amazing, Julie. Thank you so much. Um, any final remarks? Because, I know that we still have some questions. We answered a lot of them, but as usually, we answer more than 40 questions today. So it's awesome. Like, between you answering them and Emily helping too. So it was awesome. But I know there are some other questions here. So
Well, I
I
also think that our next AJA is just a regular AJA too, isn't it? Or is it? Oh no,
then
not our next one.
the
One
next
after.
one, yeah, won't be a regular one, but I don't want to disclosure
Yeah,
the
yeah,
topic.
that's
The
fine.
topic, you guys will be knowing
And
it
some
soon.
some of the questions can go also to customer service, like
Yes,
some.
I was going to say that you can also you can send us in our customer service through our customer service email, or also you can join our Facebook group, Adorbis Collective. You can post your questions there. Either one of our team will answer it, or our our community there is so amazing. They answer all kind of questions too, so they are very helpful too. So please join us there. Julie, any final remarks from
No, I think she started it already, which is unfortunate, but I talk about Andrea Ring a lot. And
today?
maybe if you reach out to her, I don't know if there's still a chance of starting it, but every single time I do an AJA, Andrea does her homeopathic course, right? and it's so helpful. I can't even tell you how many more tools you can have for your children if your children get sick, if you for your animals, which are like my children. You know, taking a homeopathic course for people that are really struggling, or even not struggling, people that just don't want to, go down that vicious circle of being on the treadmill of, you know, one drug after another drug after another drug. And this, it's just, homeopathy can be very, very, very preventative as well. So not just something that treats disease, but when you see even just a slight thing that's off on your animal and you give them a remedy, then that can often derail a much deeper disease that they don't get, and you wouldn't even have known that they were going to get it because you caught it right away. So
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone who joined us
Yes,
today.
you.
I want also to thank you guys for being so patient. I know how sometimes it's kind of frustrating to not get your question answered.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So I I want to say sorry for those ones that we couldn't answer your questions, but we are doing our best always. Like we've been talking for almost 2 hours, so I guess we are doing a lot. So, but thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Julie, for everything, for giving your time, your precious time. I know how hard it is for you sometimes, but I would love to thank you again.
Okay.
I wish you all guys a great night, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. You can sign up on our website to get all the information about the Dorbees, our promos, new blog postings, and future Ask Julie Anything sessions. Again, thank you so much. Have a great night and stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.